Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to MCubed. I'm used to saying G-Cubed right now. I've been on G-Cubed all morning. I know the last time I left you on G-Cubed, I said I was going to go see Nick Cage's newest film, The Retirement Plan, and I was on my way there at 2 p.m. And apparently at 2 p.m., it's one of the most traffic-heavy times of the day. I was not aware of that until today. And I got caught in like 20, 25 minutes of traffic, and I just was already like pushing previews, you know? And the parking is about 8 minutes walk from where you actually go to the theater. So all in all, I was going to end up being close to 50 minutes late, an hour late, somewhere in that time period. So I kind of chose to treat myself with some lunch, got some nice sushi, went to the gym, kind of got situated for the day, just took a nice shower. And now we're coming into Film News Friday with new revived energy. I wish I would have been able to go see the Nick Cage movie. I'm going to try to go see it tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to end up being the case, but fingers crossed, you know. We'll see. But yes, I'm very happy. Howdy, sci-fi. Sci-fi quest, all the above. You know what I mean. But we're going to talk about Lando becoming a movie from a TV series. And then we're going to go over this Kevin Costner news for a little bit, because it's Kevin Costner versus Yellowstone. And Kevin Costner also versus Paramount in a way. It's interesting. It's interesting stuff. So let's roll that intro. Let's do this thing. Let's get going. Howdy, Peter. Hope everyone's doing well this evening and this morning, wherever you are. But yeah, we don't have a whole slew of things to talk about, but the couple things we do have to talk about are interesting. Howdy, David. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad we're not too late over there across the pond for you. So let's just go ahead and jump in on the Lando stuff. So Lando was going to be a series. It was just announced a few months back, I believe, that Donald Glover, of course, who plays young version of Lando Calrissian, his brother, who also helps him write Atlanta, the hit show for FX, was going to help write the Lando series. And he kind of hinted at a certain point that it might actually become a movie. And lo and behold, guess where we're at? It's a movie. So a lot of people are excited about it. They think Star Wars should be on the big screen. It should be that big pivotal thing that brings people to put themselves back in the movie theater. And then there are other people who don't think that Lando is necessarily the right character to be bringing onto the big screen, and probably would be a little bit more fitting on the small screen. And as much as I love Lando Calrissian, as much as I love Billy D. Williams, as much as I love Donald Glover / Childish Gambino, it's a TV character. If he's in a film, he's a good supporting character. He's just, I don't think Lando fits a film nearly as well as he would a TV show. I think that episodic kind of thing that we've all as a fandom kind of come together with the idea of Billy D coming in there telling stories to maybe his granddaughter or whoever, and Donald Glover reenacting those stories as that younger version of Calrissian, and maybe having some Luke, Han, Leia, Chewie, whoever show up, maybe other people, because he deals with the Phoenix crew, so people from Rebels could show up. All kinds of stuff. I don't necessarily like changing it into a film, because I think, immediately lessens the amount of creativity that can be put into it. And that's not true for most characters, I don't think. But for Lando, I feel like it is, because he tends to be delegated to the sidelines, and the best way to keep him at the level and the pace he's at, without trying to string him along and stretch out the character and the concepts of the character. Solo lost money, a much bigger character. Yeah, and I think Solo's a much more compelling smuggler and kind of rogue to follow than Lando. As much as I love Lando's all over the place, where Han struggles and pushes himself towards one direction always. Lando's kind of all over the place. He's like, I'm going to do some good. I'm going to do some bad. He really is an anti-hero. And I don't think that doesn't negate a TV show or a movie. I like the TV show idea because there's just more you can do with it. It's kind of like Hondo Ohnaka in Star Wars. You wouldn't give him a movie, and he is much more a pirate / smuggler than Calrissian even is. But then again, I love Lando. I don't think he fits for a movie. There's just so much less you can do with the character. The TV show allows you to actually play around with the older and the younger version without having to take too much time away from one to make it meaningful for an A storyline. Instead of it being like an A storyline and a B storyline, it'd be nice to have them both as simultaneous storylines in a certain way. I don't think a movie's right for that. I think it's going to definitely follow Donald Glover. IG-88 is a better character. I mean, in some ways, yeah. Like, Lando is not a very deep character. Like, I can't say it enough. I love the character, but he's not all that deep. That's one of the reasons we love him. He's predictable in an unpredictable way, kind of like Hondo Ohnaka, kind of like a pirate, a smuggler, or someone that like that would be. And that's why I think Han is the better character, is he is predictable in that way because we actually get to know him. Maybe Lando's a little bit more predictable by the time we get to the sequel series. But then again, not even like unpredictable then, or not even predictable then. He just kind of pops up in sometimes. I think Lando could be a film, but straight to Disney Plus release, not a cinema release. He's not a big enough character to draw on the crowds. But if you're going to do a straight to Disney Plus movie, you might as well just do a TV show, in my thought process, I think the character that they should have done a movie for instead of a TV show in recent memory is not even a Star Wars character, but it'd be Nick Fury in Secret Invasion. That would have fit a movie more, where I think they're going to try to do something where they're like, well, if we could combine a couple things and put it into this little time period. Same thing like you could have done with Secret Invasion. Same thing you could have done with WandaVision, Loki, even Mando, season 1 and season 2, and season 3. Same thing with Boba Fett. All these things could have been films because they're almost written as films in a lot of ways. But it would have taken away from some of the stuff that we did get. Not so much in the Marvel stuff, honestly. Star Wars, though, I think Book of Boba Fett probably would have worked as a better film. I like Mando season 1, 2, 3, although I think a film formula would work just fine with it. I think they have a perfect formula for what they are doing. I wish Star Wars would explore AI a bit more thoroughly in like using it for actors or using it inside of their technology themselves. Because technically every droid is an artificial intelligence, That's why I like to say whenever people are all fear-mongering and stuff and, oh, AI is going to be the next Terminator, it's going to bring Skynet. I'm just like, there's C-3PO. Like, why can't we have C-3PO and R2-D2 for AI stuff? Characters, yeah. So, wait, characters in the sense of like actors portraying those characters, but both. Yeah, it'd be nice. It would be nice. I think they do a good job with the droid aspect of it. It would be, and honestly, actually, no, I don't think I'm not there. I think they do a good job with AI and their droids. They do it in their own kind of way, in a way that it works for Star Wars. And then I would also think that I would kind of just prefer actors over AI renditionings of people, C-3PO, etc. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of their natural existence, though. I don't know if there's that much to go into AI with that because that's literally a way that AI could end up in the future for us. Like, I would much rather us go the Star Wars route than a Terminator route, Skynet route, or anything along those lines, There's plenty of other little examples from IP that we can grab from. But I would much prefer our society to go in that C-3PO R2-D2 chopper route, It's very, very applicable. Not necessarily now, of course, but it's very applicable in the future. General Grievous is one of my favorite villains. The good thing is he was not a droid. He was not a droid. He was a person. He was from the Kalish species. But yeah, that would be like the bad version of AI if we just give each little if you give every AI its own body and allow it to have autonomy, even not even allow it, just it has autonomy. There's no need to take over and do a bunch of crazy things. Cyborg, yeah, he kind of ended up being a cyborg for sure. But you kind of get what I'm saying right there. Like, I don't think there's a need for a iRobot types example. Harris, I am your father. I can't do General Grievous, but it would be kind of cool. I'm just yeah. I would love for our species and society and our future to kind of involve more of a Star Wars feel to technology than not necessarily technology, but to AI, particularly AI, than iRobot or Skynet or anything. I am your toaster. Yes. I mean, you know how much fun it'd be to have an autonomous toaster? It'd be kind of bad at times too, but it'd be the little toaster that could, it'd be kind of fun. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with Lando. I don't have too many more thoughts besides that. We could dive into it if y'all have any specifics about why it would be better as a film than a TV show, or why it would be better as a TV show than a film. I just think there's so much more to explore in a television show with a side character like that than it would be to just kind of delegate them to the big screen for the sake of it. I don't want Star Wars to be doing things for the sake of it, and that's what I'm afraid this is. How about a movie with a strong Luke for a change? We could use that, and hopefully that's coming with Heir to the Empire. Hopefully we get some stuff like that. That would be very nice to get. Red Dwarf has a toaster, an autonomous toaster. No way! Oh my god! Y'all are making me want to watch Red Dwarf. It gets referenced way too often. How long is Red Dwarf again? How long is Red Dwarf? 12 seasons. And I know it's going to be like 22 episodes each, and it's all going to be so long. I don't know if I can catch up to that. I want to watch that. Yes. Yeah. It sounds like so much fun. It sounds like something I truly would enjoy. But 12 seasons? It's just a lot. It's just a lot. That's a lot. I need to watch Sopranos next. I keep anyway. I'll figure it out mentally. Red Dwarf first 6 seasons, 6 episodes each. Oh, that changes things. So it's really like 6 seasons. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. It's not 6 seasons. That's more like 7 or 8 from what I'm thinking. Best comedy show, Talkie Toaster. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I like that AI kind of stuff. I hope that's how we explore AI more, both in film, outside of film, et cetera, et cetera. We do have about 1 week, 2 weeks until The Creator comes out, Gareth Edwards' new sci-fi film, and that looks good. 1.5 weeks. Yes. That's it. Oh, 1.5 extra seasons. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm just excited to see how that explores it as well, because I would much rather the film that we have do a lot less fear mongering. I understand it's great for movie plots and stuff, but there are ways to bring AI forward into, I guess, the zeitgeist without making it scary, without making it ominous and threatening, and really make it the helpful thing that it can be, the great equalizer that it can be. Peter, can I ask you a question? Do you want some toast? Oh God, Peter's looking forward to The Creator. So maybe if that creator brings toast, he's looking forward to that as well, or makes you know what I mean. I tried to make a joke out of it. I said the wrong thing. Do you want some toast? That's funny. I'm about to pull up this fancy article, and we are diving into some Kevin Costner, some Yellowstone, some Paramount. Debauchery is not the right word. in-house infighting, in-house fighting, all the above, you know? So I'm going to put this up here. Like, subscribe, comment, share this to all your friends. I'm trying to find share screen. Sorry, this is taking too long. There we are. Booyah. All right. And while you're at it, follow me on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. All the same thing right there. I'm just putting it out there just so I don't forget to do it. Harris has no idea how close he had read that, LOL. Did I really read that close? Do you want some toast? Is that how it goes? I did bring up the wrong thing. I didn't mean to bring up Twitter either. I meant to bring up the actual article from Pup right here. All right. Well, let me get a sip of water. Let me clear my throat. Hold up. Let me take this microphone off so you don't hear all that nasty. I don't like to share all the nasty if I don't have to, you know. Much better. Let me see if this is the right one for this. I could, you know, that's actually not bad. I kind of like how that look. Oh, I did like. Now I don't. I did like. Now I don't. Oh, wow. Nope. I mean, that's kind of cool for some things, though. I do like this. So, like, ooh. Okay, real quick. I've been thinking about getting like a little virtual assistant or something, like to actually act as a producer for like the channel and really upper quality and try to like boost us to monetization and do all that kind of stuff. It'd be kind of handy to have, like, if we're talking about a specific topic, have someone in the background that can just put this up and let me continue my spiel and do this. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm excited. Did you see Goldie Hawn's duck face? I did not, but it's kind of perma duck face after a while. As much as I love some Goldie Hawns, she doesn't look as great as she may have at one point in her time. It's a shame. It's a sad thing, sad day when these things happen. But that's what happens when you put too much Botox on. I'm just saying. But anyway, this is an article from Puck. I believe it's Matthew Baloney. Yep, it is a Matthew Baloney article. It was written yesterday, and it is titled "Kevin Costner Spent His Strike Summer Fighting Over Yellowstone." Costner's threat to sue over his likely exit from TV's top show comes after months of back and forth with Paramount, a rep's hasty trip to New York, and a call with Taylor Sheridan. Did not go well. So this is going to be a slightly lengthy article, not too long. She may have gone overboard. Yeah, she went overboard, but not as overboard as some people. Nicole Kidman was in that Aquaman 2 trailer, and you know, it's not something that I'm like, oh my god, she looks so plastic. Oh my god! But whenever it's a genre film, it is legitimately distracting, and Aquaman is enough of a genre film where you're like, I don't think that would work. I don't think that would work down there, you know? And same thing in the Northman. She looks like a plastic doll that they would have worshipped in the Northman more so than the actual mother of Alexander Skarsgård's character, you know? Like, I don't get it. Goldie is always a bird on a wire. I'm not saying anything bad about any of them. I just don't like all the extra plastic, you know? Madonna screwed herself up. I love that picture where Roseanne Barr and Madonna are next to each other, and Roseanne Barr is literally better looking than Madonna in her 70s now. And it's hilarious. And it's because of Botox and filler and stuff. Roseanne just lost weight and she just looks like a normal 70-year-old lady now. Fairly good looking one. She's got money. She's kept up with herself, but Madonna looks like a freaking scarecrow. She looks like a Chucky doll. It's kind of spooky. But anyway, we'll keep moving. See, Helen Mirren didn't do anything to herself, and she looks amazing. Amazing. She aged very gracefully. Very gracefully. Her and Meryl Streep both, but I think Helen Mirren aged more gracefully. Just she's got that like British aristocrat, you know. She's Helen Mirren, you know. I get old actresses going down the Botox route, but Ariana Grande, yeah, there's too many. It's bad. It's sad. It's bad and it's sad. It really is. Reese Witherspoon is still hot. Yeah, I will never say Reese Witherspoon is not looking A-okay. unless she's Reese without her spoon. Because if Reese with her spoon loses her spoon and becomes Reese without her spoon, oh, it could herald in a new age of terrible things. But I don't think she'll ever lose her spoon. She'll stay good looking. Her daughter looks exactly like her and is my age. Maybe she will find her way to LA. I mean, she's in LA. And maybe I'll run into her one day. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh, look, I clicked the wrong tab. I went back to the Trade Authority from earlier. Where is it? Helen is 78 years old and still gorgeous. And she was in Fast and Furious 10. Not much, of course. She was in Barbie, just as a narrator. And she was also in the Shazam movie as one of the two main villains that has to do some, not a whole bunch, but some physical things. Wow. She's kicking it. Wow. Yeah. Her and Harrison Ford. I guess that's why they got them to star alongside each other in 1923. Which brings us right back to Taylor Sheridan, Paramount, and Yellowstone. So let's jump right in, huh? All right, here we go. Here is a fun contract detail that talent representatives will enjoy. Kevin Costner has a moral death provision in his Yellowstone deal. The clause, which was inserted during one of his renegotiations on TV's #1 show, lists in general terms the various ways that Costner's character can and cannot be killed off, including deaths that would cause shame or embarrassment to John Dutton and implicitly to Costner and his family. Yes, that's unusual. I asked a few seasoned talent lawyers if they'd seen a clause like that, and nobody really had. But it's kind of not surprising, right? From the beginning, Costner seen Yellowstone as the Kevin Costner show, even as its headstrong co-creator and showrunner Taylor Sheridan has maintained ultimate control and the backing of Paramount, and turned it into an ensemble drama with many stars and the anchor of the lucrative and very much Costner-free Sheridan-verse of shows. So Costner, with his famously large ego and hostility towards those who question him, felt he needed to protect himself against someone with more power, hence the clause preventing Dutton from betraying his family or getting fatally kicked in the nuts by a horse. Ego and power moves are running narratives in this ongoing standoff over Yellowstone, which was dragged on for months now due to the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strike delays. Remember that Costner, earlier this year, was refusing to finish the second half of the 5th season, dubbed 5B, until he was afforded a reduced work schedule to shoot the second Horizon movie, which he's directing, and was satisfied by his character's arc. Costner argued that the delay was Sheridan's fault, not his, but Paramount producer 101 Studios ended talks and announced in May that the show will end with season 5 and restart as a sequel series shortly thereafter. Essentially, a Costner kiss-off. Costner has since engaged a wild strike summer of covert efforts to re-engage with Paramount, coupled with aggressive demands to Sheridan and the producers. That dispute culminated with Costner announcing a couple weeks ago at a court hearing in his divorce case that he's thinking of suing. All right. So thoughts so far. Thoughts. Fast X, Elon at it again. Stay on target. Hey, we got our way back. We found our way back. Peter, you turned off your targeting computer. Something wrong? Okay. So thoughts so far. I have read this article a couple times over now, and I love Kevin Costner. I really do. Waterworld is one of those guilty pleasures. And you know what's even more of a guilty pleasure than that? The movie he directed right after Waterworld, The Postman. I love The Postman. Ford Lincoln Mercury is one of my favorite little characters in any film ever. And yeah, it's not necessarily a great film. Oh, hold up. My laptop almost slipped off without my little barrier to keep it up. Nice. I really like Kevin Costner's work. I like his ability to direct and act. I like what he does. I don't like his attitude. I want to direct in the future. I want to produce and direct and all these different things, but he's not someone that I think I would be very fond of directing or working alongside, if that makes sense. Hold up. Yeah, I'm gonna say layout 6. Sorry, I'm just making myself a little bit bigger so I can see y'all better. Did that work? Or do I have to put it on? Ah, there we are. So there we are. So yeah, I worry about his workability alongside others, and it just time and time again has kind of showed that he doesn't want to work alongside others very well. It is kind of like the Kevin Costner show all the time. And when you actually give him his own show, it truly is. I've never heard a good word about him. That's the thing. I haven't either. And he just seems like a generally down-to-earth guy. And then you get him into a working scenario and he seems like this freaking bulldog. And I don't get that. I really don't. And the fact that he's talking about suing everybody in the middle of his divorce hearings, I don't think that's a very good light on him either. That doesn't look good on him at all. Hey, I'm getting divorced. I might have been married to this woman for a while, or I don't even know who he's married to. Hold up, Kevin Costner wife. I'm sure it's someone decently big. Wife. Christine Baumgartner. Gardner. That's right. Yeah, is it still Christine Baumgartner? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, well, they're in the middle of a divorce. Is Bill Durham on an underrated movie? I'm not sure. Is Bill Durham an underrated movie? I read that wrong at first. Yeah, no, I think it's probably quaintly rated. Is that the right way to say that? I'm not positive. But yeah, no, I haven't heard many good things about Kevin Costner over time. And that hurts because his films are amazing. I really do have a soft spot for them in the films that I love. But he seems like he's just a hard guy to work with. And this article doesn't necessarily help. Any of the articles I have read about this topic, or him, or Yellowstone itself, or Paramount as a company trying to deal with all of this, none of it looks good. And every time you read an article, even kind of leaning in Kevin Costner's kind of sway, it doesn't seem like he really cares about anything besides just getting his way. And it's just that's not the essence of what film is. Film is a creative endeavor that you're piecing together a multitude of people's ideas, and of course there is a main idea or couple main ideas and couple main idea people for that, but it's a collaborative process from the smallest to the largest fish, and everybody in the aquarium has to work together for the ecosystem to actually get along. I think he's gone full grumpy old man. Yeah, but he's been full grumpy old man since he was in his mid-30s, which is the weird part. David says he's only up to season 1, episode 7 of Yellowstone. So far, really like it, especially the narrative American lass who married to his son in Yellowstone. She's beautiful. I need to catch up on Yellowstone. I want to I haven't watched any of Yellowstone or any of the movies or TV shows, 1923, 1980, 81, or 83, whatever the hell it is. But I really want to. Because y'all are helping me plan out what my brain's watching for the next few months. I think I'm going to go Sopranos, Red Dwarf, then Yellowstone, or Sopranos, Yellowstone, Red Dwarf. Y'all help me figure that out. Anyway, I will keep reading while y'all help me figure that out because I'm indecisive. So help me out, y'all. But here we are. The negotiation. Those courtroom comments piqued my interest in checking on Yellowstone. I'd heard that Costner's reps were basically begging for Sheridan and Paramount to have him back for 5B and possibly season 6 and 7. According to two sources, after Paramount... Oh, I went too far. After Paramount pulled the offer to return and announced the show's planned end date, Rod Lake, Costner's producing partner, contracted Keys Hill Edgar, COO of Paramount Media Networks and MTV Entertainment Studios, and asked for an audience in New York. Costner really wanted back in. Lake insisted to wrap up the character, fulfill the fans' wishes, and to help promote the first Horizon, which Costner directed last summer and which Warner Bros. Still has not given a release date. Yeah, that's not very good either. That doesn't stand very well, it doesn't help Costner's take. If Sheridan and Costner could just jump on the phone, Lake told Hill. Try that sentence again. If Sheridan and Costner could just jump on the phone, Lake told Hill Edgar the whole mess could be worked out. But could it? After that meeting, Costner and Sheridan indeed got on a call together in early July to discuss how a return would work. Before the strike, Sheridan had written most of 5B, assuming Costner would not be back. But he is said to have been willing to scrap those scripts and rewrite them post-strike with a John Dutton arc. But in the call, Costner, while speaking in a friendly tone to Sheridan, unfurled his list of demands. Here we go. Increased money, reduced shooting schedule, and here's the kicker, the right to review, approve, and potentially veto every Sheridan script. That last part was a non-starter for Sheridan, surprise, who famously writes Yellowstone himself and believes that 4.5 seasons of mega hit TV earned him the right to say so. Duh, say so and say no, yes. Paramount walked away shortly thereafter. Reps for Costner, Sheridan, and Paramount all declined to comment. I also reached out to Costner's litigator, Marty Singer, who declined to comment, and his deal lawyer, Howard Kaplan. Names are difficult today. So, just thinking about that. Oh, David, okay, we'll get to that after. Okay. The right to review and veto, approve, and or veto new scripts. The guy that's not even writing it, he's not funding it. He might be producing it to a degree, sure, but he's not funding it. And you come in there and try to say that? And here's the kicker onto that. Having the chutzpah and the gusto to do that. After this, just look at these numbers now. Here we go. Paramount Media Network CEO Chris McCarthy is said to have still hope that Costner's team might re-engage with those demands as the strike drags on and the window to resolve this feud stays open. But that option for Costner likely vanished when he appeared in the Santa Barbara courtroom September 1st and threatened litigation, saying the summer breakdown was a money issue and telling the judge that he directed his reps to have them pay me whatever number. We came up with a number. He suggested it was $12 million per season, and they walked away. Then, when asked if he will receive the money owed for 5B, he said, I'll probably go to court over it. Costner was already paid for 5B, so he was likely referring to suing over 6 and possibly 7. According to sources, Costner believes that since he was offered a rich package to return, Paramount is in breach by yanking it. And Costner and his team believe that Sheridan's planned kiss-off for John Dutton might violate that moral death clause, though again, show sources dispute that and say Costner has never read the planned fate of Dutton. Regardless, it's now more likely than ever Costner won't return to the show that revived his career. Though, of course, this is Hollywood, where money and messaging can resolve even the nastiest of feuds. That is true. Paramount has done viewer studies that suggest Yellowstone fans are fine with the Costner list show, and according to Listen First, a social listening analytics firm, John Dutton, this is where it gets interesting, was largest driver of views across social media platforms for Yellowstone in Season 1, driving 44% of all views, but has since fallen to only 14% of views in Season 5A. 44 to 14 is a huge drop, 30% drop. Bottoms was released in 45% more or 55% more, something like that, more theaters than it was in its first weekend and its second weekend, and still had a 35% drop. And that's doing really well. For a TV show over years and years to have one character, and the TV show keeps growing and growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger and better, and for Costner of all people to be the 30% drop out of it all, that loses every bit of sway and saying power that he should have at all. Paramount should just laugh, honestly, at that. Obviously, they're not, because Costner is Costner, and he has a big team, and he's a big draw anyway. 14% is nothing to scoff at, of course. But going from 44 to 14%, it is laughable. It's not scoffable, but it's laughable. Because if he comes in there trying to veto scripts, as he gets less and less popular, as the show gets more and more popular, Costner needs to take them down to the train station. Don't kill him off. Give him dementia. Put him in a home. But then that would be bad looking. It'd be the moral death or whatever for his clause. It's interesting. Costner needs to pull his head out of his ass. The writer has the right to do what he wants with this project. Done a good job so far. Totally. And although I haven't seen the TV stuff that Taylor Sheridan has done, I'm very familiar with his filmography. Wind River, I think, is one of the most underrated films of the last 2 decades. I know is it 2014 or 2017? Those are the dates that come to mind. But Jeremy Renner, Elizabeth Olsen, and it's not Wes Studi. I forget the native guy that plays the chief, or not the chief, the tribal policeman. But anyway, Wind River is criminally underrated, and I really think it's Angelina Jolie, the guy that played Littlefinger was also in it, and that's Aiden something for Littlefinger. And then was John Bernthal in it? Those who Angelina Jolie, hold up. This is just going to bug me. I have to Google it real quick. Angelina Jolie, Taylor Sheridan. Those Who Wish Me Dead. Yeah. And it is, yep, John Bernthal. That's right. Nicholas Hoult and Aidan Gillen. Ah, there we go. Yep. So, yeah, great little cast. He has an excellent array of films. And if the films themselves don't give him a right to say what should be in something or not, his television filmography most definitely does. It's iconic. It really is. Do I really need to watch 1923? Stopped watching Yellowstone. I don't know. I'm so anal about chronology. If I do start watching it, I'm going to have to watch 1983, then 1923. Isn't there something else? There's something else, right? And then I would have to watch Yellowstone. But I'm in, honestly. I'll watch those just because of how popular it will be and continue to be. And if Matthew McConaughey's taken over the next show, which we'll get to in literally just a few moments, I'm in. you give me a text and to put in charge, and I'm in. Anyway, let's keep going with it. It's just this last little bit of the paragraph, last 2 or 3 right here. So, plus Matthew McConaughey is lined up, if not actually signed on, to take on the sequel series with key members of the OG Yellowstone cast, many of whom are happy to see Costner as personal drama's gone. There's such a high costing cast. Not such a high costing cast. Some of the guys really aren't that well known, but a good amount of the actors on Yellowstone are very well known actors. Kelly Riley, I literally watched in A Haunting in Venice yesterday. And Wes Studi is all over the place as well. So there are actors who I know are just fed up dealing with Costner. It's so annoying to work with melodramatic actors on set. It's just at that point, just be melodramatic in your acting, right? Like be dramatic in your acting. You're not supposed to be that way on set as well, which is also a whole thing with method actors and stuff like that. I like that method acting is kind of losing a bit of its foothold, although it is very useful in cases and amazing in some cases. It's degrading to the brain sometimes as well, and I don't know if that should be part of art. But anyway, it's Yellowstone, but not about a super eruption. Yes. Hey, I actually have a post-apocalyptic zombie-like world that I've written based after a Yellowstone eruption. Kind of a Last of Us. I had never played or read anything Last of Us, but I kind of wrote something alongside kind of, and that's not the right way to compare it. Anyway, that I'll put something out there eventually. Anyway, let's just finish this. So, the strikes have derailed plans for a November premiere of 5B, of course, but since Sheridan did so much work on the scripts pre-strike, and he almost certainly won't have to rewrite them for Costner, Yellowstone could be one of the speediest returns to production post-strikes. Indeed, I'm told pre-production moves have already begun, just in case there's a resolution soon. If Sheridan is indeed done with Costner, and Costner is thus done with Yellowstone, it would be a sad but somewhat predictable outcome. Ironically, for a show about the battle for land, there isn't enough room for 2 Type A men and Costner's inflated sense of himself. Yeah, see, I like the way they ended that article. It sounds all cool and stuff, sure, but hey, that ain't Sheridan's fault. It's not 2 Type A guys. That ain't 2 Type A guys. That's just Kevin Costner being a dick, really. Jonathan Majors method drama, yeah. Oh no, more zombies. More zombies, yeah, but not like normal zombies. I tried to make it a little more poised. That's the thing. If I don't want to sound like I don't want to I don't want to float my boat, and I don't want to sound too coaster hit piece. I don't want to sound like trying to make something like Oscar worthy, because I'm not. It's a genre thing. I just would like to do zombies with a little more poise, if that makes sense, and not necessarily the zombies, but the people in the world, and do like a higher level of film that's been done before. Are the zombies vegan? Hell no! They got to eat brains. That's important. That's always important. If it's gonna actually be a zombie, it's got to eat brains, you know. But they are a little bit different than your average zombie, I guess. But anyway, back to the Yellowstone Kevin Costner stuff. Matthew McConaughey's on board for a new show. That's all I need to hear. If the scripts are already written for 5B and Paramount's already approved the scripts for 5B, the only thing that could keep that from happening, if the strikes were to end and the studio is ready to jump forward and Taylor Sheridan and cast and crew are ready to jump forward, would be the moral death clause in Kevin Costner's contract. And that would be screwy. Howdy, Laura. What's happening? We're talking Kevin Costner, Yellowstone, Paramount, all kinds of stuff. Brains. Where's Disney's brains? Disney doesn't have brains. They lost them. I love Bob Iger. Used to love Bob Iger, but he's made some funky decisions the last 7 or 8 years, you know? I mean, maybe more than that. Just kidding, Disney. Bob Iger's a saint. Please hire me. Yeah, I are the animals zombies like Zombiever? I hope so. You know, I haven't thought about that actually. Not really. No, I don't think so. But I do like the idea. Hello, I'm late as usual. Yes, Costner being a punk that needs more cash. Yeah. I do find it interesting that if he finds a way to weasel his way back into the zeitgeist that is Yellowstone, that him or at least his reps have talked about a season 6 and season 7, which obviously there's stuff there that they want to do because they are doing a spin-off series that would be kind of a follow-up series with Matthew McConaughey and some of the OG Yellowstone cast. Could Dutton stay in there? Could Dutton and McConaughey kind of have a if the moral death clause actually comes into fruition and Kevin Costner forces his way back on, I guarantee you there wouldn't be a season 7. If those contracts are not already signed for a season 7, if he found a way to weasel in one more season and it ended with season 6, I bet you they would still introduce Matthew McConaughey and they would find a way to kill Dutton off, John Dutton. I'm saying this without ever watching the show. I'm just kind of like spitballing, but I would feel like they would find a way to take him out without making it bad like that moral death clause would. It wouldn't reflect negatively necessarily, and they could throw him out like a hero, and then Matthew McConaughey could swoop in and do something else. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but I much more prefer that idea than trying to pull this thing out in court and drag it along for time and time. Because if they do end up finishing the season 5B without Costner, without having the character of John Dutton present, and he does drag the case out, it might be iffy. There's I don't know exactly what would happen, but could they retroactively cancel or not cancel? It's not canceled. Retroactively change 5B from being canon to having another 5B and finishing the rest of the story. I'm not sure. It's interesting. Studios can now cancel all deals, force majeure, start a brand new deal with Taylor. That's not a bad idea either. Force majeure would be a good way to handle that, honestly. I don't necessarily like studios doing it, but hell, it would work. Might cost them a couple dollars, which Paramount doesn't really have at the same time. Paramount is fairly broke at the moment, and that doesn't help the situation at hand. It's iffy. It's iffy. How much is getting canceled next year as a result of the strikes? No, no, no. It won't get canceled for yeah, that's that it won't. Yeah. Um but Costner doesn't care about his public perception. He really doesn't, which is kind of wild. He has reached the F button with cash and doesn't care no more. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of where we're at, honestly. And it's not like he's the richest actor either. He's just like, I'm happy with what I got, so now I'm gonna be pissy to everybody. Like that's something I don't truly get. I really don't. And come on, man. You make great movies. Why you gotta be so mad at everybody all the time? Grumpy old man. Literally, though, he's been a grumpy old man since like he was 35 or 40. And now he's in his late 50s, early 60s, wherever he is. He just can't seem to just be friendly and workable, with or alongside anybody. It kind of just sucks. Most shows are getting canceled. Only top shows will remain. Yeah, there's no way Yellowstone gets canceled. Yeah, there's just no way. There's no way. It's the only thing really making a lot of money for Paramount right now, and it is making a lot of money. I'm hoping. I don't think the strike's going to cancel very many shows. I think the shows that the strike will cancel are shows that can't be picked back up, like are time necessary, like Euphoria. I kind of hope Euphoria gets canceled and they don't decide to do season 3 because how the hell are these kids supposed to be in high school when they're literally in their like early and mid 30s now? Kevin Costner 68? No way. Oh, so yeah, that was like 40s whenever he started getting all pissy. Skeleton Crew likely to be canceled. Odds on Acolyte? Oh, I don't think Skeleton Crew will be canceled at all. They've already filmed. No, they're neither one of those are canceled at all. That's like I don't. That's not even a possibility for either one of those shows. There's too much money spent, and it's not. Those aren't shows that they expect to be. I guess it's not. It's not going to be Spiderwick Chronicles. It's not going to be yet. No, I don't think there's a possibility for either one of those shows to be canceled. Where Spiderwick and the Nautilus show, those are. It's not Star Wars, but Batgirl was legitimately bad. Everyone that saw it said it was very bad. Acolyte, that's Kathleen Kennedy's baby at the moment. That's kind of her last thing that she's like putting out there that she really like has pushed. And I think her and Leslie Headland will. That's going to be really where Indiana Jones may have seemed like Kathleen Kennedy's swan song. Acolyte really will be. If Kathleen Kennedy leaves Lucasfilm, I guess we kind of all think she is, and I just don't know exactly when that's going to happen. I'd like it to, but Batgirl was legitimately bad, so bad then, yeah. But not necessarily for the Acolyte. I think the Acolyte has a lot of potential, but it has a lot of potential to be bad as well. I'm just as I'm an optimistic bastard. I like to be optimistic, lean into the optimistic side. And as optimistic as I am for the Acolyte, I'm just as trepidatious, to bring that word back. I'm just as trepidatious for all the same reasons I'm excited. Skeleton Crew, I'm excited for. I like the team behind it. John Watts is a very big director at the moment. Not like huge, but he did the last 3 Spider-Man movies for Marvel, which were all billion-dollar things. So he's doing well. And he's done some of the more fun episodes of The Mandalorian, and they were all well received. He's kind of the guy that got, was it him or Peyton Reed that got? I think it was John Watts that got the Luke Skywalker stuff happening. He was one of the people that got in there to kind of deal with the de-aging and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's interesting. Star Wars has cost Disney $10 billion up to this point. Maybe is what have they? There's a question mark. I'm not sure, my friend. But yeah, breaking even barely. Well, is that without toy sales? Toy sales have just got us. Toy sales and actually having them, they've not made nearly as much money as they should, and they're. I'm sure they could be making a hell of a lot more money, but I'm sure that they are not lacking in money from Star Wars with toy sales, video game sales, with with having, I guess, what's Disney World, Disneyland? What's it called? I've been there. I've been there. Not Galaxy of Heroes. That's a phone game. Galactic Outpost, Galactic, whatever the hell it is. With theme parks, games, toys, I don't think they're hurting for cash. You know, she knows where all the skeletons are buried. She probably does. She probably does. Breaking even barely. Hero, I'll be your hero. Where did that come from? What was I saying? I don't know. I need one of those plushy Loth cats. I do as well. I love Loth cats, but I want a Loth wolf. I love the Loth cats, but the Loth wolves are just gorgeous, intimidating, fierce, terrifying, beautiful. It's force sensitive, trippy, awesome. I want a couple plushes of them things. John Watts. Okay, it was John Watts. Okay. Peyton Reed did the Ant-Man stuff, but I don't know. I don't think he's involved with any Star Wars stuff. I think it was just John Watts. Oh, John Watts was the hero. Okay, I see. I'm with you. I'm sorry. How many Yellowstone shows are there? Do they count the country music star, one of them, which I wanted more of? What's the country music star one? Love the Spider-Man movies. Yeah, they were good. I don't really like the movies necessarily a lot. I don't think it's anything of John Watts' fault. I just don't like this. I don't necessarily like the way they're written. They work within the MCU. Loth Wolf with a Loth cat in the back. Yeah, you know the exact scenes I have in my brain there too. Grogu would have brought in millions by himself, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, probably. Oh my god! Like I've got. This is where it still says. Yeah, this is where it says the child, where they stopped printing Baby Yoda and they finally put the child because they were pissy about it. I love having that. So it's technically a little collectible back there, you know. I don't know. What are you referring to here? The country music star, one of them. I know they're doing the first American, like the Black American lawman, like the first dude. He's one of the Yellowstone spin-offs, but he's not like truly a Yellowstone spin-off. I know they're doing a show, and it's David Oyelowo, country music guy, and his wife made it. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, not Carl Urban, Keith Urban, duh, or Keith, whatever the hell his name is. I'm not sure. Yellowstone shows in chronological order. It says 1883, 1923, Yellowstone season 1, 2. Okay. Just give me the shows. Okay, yeah, accept the cookies. Yeah, then it just says Yellowstone seasons 1 through 5. Interesting. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. How much do I have left? I did not bring my laptop charger, and my phone is just kind of sitting on here. 1883. Country music guy and his wife made it. Goes out west with family and daughter. Falls in love with native guy. 1883. Oh, okay. Yeah. 1883 is part of it. That's technically like the first one, I think, chronologically, but I'm not positive. Okay, we'll hang out for a few more minutes, and just hang out, talk, whatever we want to talk about. I know David wanted to talk a little bit about Mayans, which I would love to talk about. I'm grabbing my laptop charger from the other room and putting it on here real quick. Too many very old actors and politicians at the moment. God forbid they fix anything. Can you imagine 1,000-year-old KC? Kevin Costner? Ooh. Thanks, had no idea. Yeah. So that is part of it. I didn't know it was a country music guy. That's kind of cool, though. Huh. I don't really know what 1883 is about. I know what 1923 is just because of Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford. I don't know much about it besides that either, though. Anyways, I'm gonna put this 30-second little brand thing on, and then we'll be right back. And we're good. I literally plugged it in like as that ended. That was kind of good timing. Kind of perfect timing, as they say. Who knows anything about the concept of the absolute? What do you mean, the absolute? Maybe, possibly. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let me scroll back up here. Find David's comment. Heyo! Finish mines and fuck me, that's some brutal shit, but the best way to finish it. Oh, there was no way. I mean, spoilers real quick for Mayans and Sons of Anarchy, I guess. Oh, I don't have a spoilers thing on here. I need to add that banner. Scroll across the create banner, scroll across. Spoilers in all caps. Oh man, it was beautiful. It really was. Do you know what I meant by saying that second to last episode was one of my favorite Sons of Anarchy or Mayan episodes ever? When Jax's ex, comes in raising their kid essentially, or having raised him a bit, and just talking to Easy, and just talking Easy through some stuff he needed to hear, but he knew couldn't change anything. It could if he would allow it to, but I guess there's just no going back after you've made the type of decisions you've made. Oh, it hurt. It hurt. And frickin' Potter, man. Potter, like, this dude comes in there and just wipes them all out. And it's so sad. They literally just take out Easy, allow Angel to live. Well, make Angel do it first, and then allow Angel to live. And I'm so if they would have killed Angel, I would have been. I mean, I was already pretty damn sad with the way things turned out, but man, Angel deserved good. Yeah, it was good, but Easy was far too gone by then. He was way too far gone. Dynasty flashback? I'm not sure what that is. No, just talk about Sons of Anarchy and Mayans. Mayans just finished up, I think, within the last month or so. And it's good. Those are two of the greatest shows, I think, ever written and put on to TV. And there's a lot of amazing shows, but those two, even if you're not in those worlds, can kind of just wrap you into them immediately. They're just wild and wildly entertaining at that. And you're just making me think of it again. I was sad about Gilly. Gilly was somebody that I wanted something good for Gilly. But he put good back in his girl's life. That's what matters. Yeah. I was happy that Easy was pissy though, and pushed. What's the guy's name? What's the character's name? He's bald. The gay Mayan that kind of like kicks himself out. By the end, I was worried about Angel. Dynasty is a famous soap opera where everyone died at the end in a shootout. Oh. Well, yeah, it kind of dynastied there. Dynasty, yeah, it kind of did. But it wasn't much of a shootout, really. It was more of a shoot down and a lot of murder going on in a lot of different ways. Do you see that episode where Jax piloted that giant robot? I think so. I think I did. I didn't see the sequel episode though. I own the sequel episode. I own Pacific Rim 2, but I did not see Pacific Rim 2. But Pacific Rim's dope. I love Pacific Rim. And Charlie Day in there's great. When you have time to look it up, it's something like there's the higher plane, which all of our experiences exist, and we create a fake program to experience all types of life. Physicists explain Big Bang. Is the absolute kind of like the Matrix in a way? Kind of like a Matrix, not necessarily the Matrix, but a Matrix. Kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not creativity, not consciousness. That's the word. Consciousness makes up. I guess consciousness makes. Oh, I literally saw this quote somewhere today. It's like consciousness makes up everything around us for the sake of consciousness and to appease consciousness, and nothing necessarily more than that. There's a YouTube video explaining it. Well, we might watch it, honestly. I like both Pacific Rims. I haven't seen the second one. I literally own it, and I haven't seen it. I have it on Vudu, and I still haven't watched it. But I do really like the first one. Guillermo del Toro is amazing. Amazing. And I wish he would have been able to make The Hobbit. If he would have made The Hobbits. All right, 1 second. I just want to make sure this is doable. The absolute. You're gonna have to help me find it. Let me see. Present, share screen, YouTube. It's like how we explain God. We're our own gods. Okay, kind of like I usually think about mushrooms whenever someone says something like that. You know, kind of like Jesus is a mushroom in a way, or along those lines. We didn't see who, if any, survived at end, so a spinoff could have one or two in prison. Oh, that's a good idea. I just kind of thought they all died. That's the guy. That's what I was thinking. Real quick, the sequel episode that has Finn. Yep. We didn't see who, if any, survived at the end. So okay, I don't think Gilly would have survived. He's too big of a target, honestly. I love the character, but he would have just been shot up. Maybe Goggles lives. Oh no, Goggles gets. Well, maybe Goggles lives. I don't think Obispo lives. Love the frickin' character. Oh, I should take the spoilers thing off and put it back to MCubed. Oh, of course, I'm gonna put this on here for now. Yeah, I just don't know. That's okay. Now that we're here, though, the sequels that I kept talking about that I think could happen is what is the Grim Bastards. I think a sequel about the Grim Bastards would work. What is the all-female? Not Goggles, it's Bottles. That's right, it's Bottles. It's been a month. I'm already forgetting. Oh god. What's the all-female motorcycle club? It's not really a motorcycle club, but kind of. I think that would be an option, and they would be called woke for it, but it'd still be interesting. I'd still watch it, even though they would be called woke for it. I would totally watch it. Grim Bastards. They could even be called woke for doing the Grim Bastards, but I really like the Grim Bastards and the female group of bikers / people. And Letty's still over there. Hope, man! Hope! Oh! Hope! Oh, no! I literally, every time, I love the character of Hope. She's one of my favorite characters of TV for the last 5 years. And every time anything Hope happens, I tweet about it, and the actress always tweets me back, and it always makes me happy. And it made me so sad that I couldn't keep tweeting about Hope anymore. Hope, man. That actress did great. I forget her name, but she's excellent. That whole cast and crew did just phenomenally from start to finish. And I know even in season 3, Elgin James got control because Kurt Sutter, the guy that made all of Sons of Anarchy, was the showrunner for season 1 and season 2, and ended up becoming executive producer and like story developer to a degree for Mayans, and it became Elgin James's show, his kind of like protege, his Dave Filoni. Grim Bastards for me, next spinoff. See, okay, the two that I would want the most. I like the idea of the girl club. I do like the lady club, but Grim Bastards would be amazing because they were set up very well in Sons of Anarchy. They end up kind of on the Mayan side to a degree, in a way. And then we finally kind of get them in their own place once the Sons of Anarchy and the Mayans both are kind of obsolete in their own ways, or at least their mother chapters, these big head honchos that rule the game are gone, really. I think Grim Bastards would be great to see. But the one that I think would be just as interesting would be a Potter show. Would be a Vanessa Giselle. That's her name. Yes. Gorgeous as well. Just very pleasant human being. You wouldn't think she would be playing heroin addicts and junkies, but damn, she does that very well as well. But yeah, Grim Bastards would be phenomenal. But I wouldn't mind a Potter show. Potter show. The agent that was trying to take Potter down, we never saw what happened to her, right? It'd be nice to kind of see, and we need to end Potter. We need to end Potter. Potter has got to freaking go. I love the actor. I can't think of his name right now either, and that's the name that I should be able to think of. But Potter's got to go, man. Like, oh, he's bad. He's bad. And he's so good at being bad. FBI. And you know damn well there's FBI agents like that. Leave Harry alone. No. Harry's all good. Harry Potter he's all good. Harry Pothead and Harry Potter, those are my best friends. But is it John Potter? What the hell's his name? No, it's like a fancy name. It's William Potter. It's not a fancy name. It's William Potter. Anyway, Potter. Man, I could. That's 8 years worth of Potter pissing me off on Sons of Anarchy, or at least 6 years worth, and then another 5 years of him pissing me off on Mayans, like, and then for it to end the way it did with Potter. Oh man, no. I don't know if there's a character on TV that I love to hate more than Potter. Like, Thrawn is someone that I'm very excited to love to hate, but I also don't hate him. I'm just completely enthralled by his character. Potter, oh, he's enthralling for sure, but I love to hate him. Potter's insane, and no, we didn't see what happened to Dana Delaney character. Yeah. That spinoff would not be so much motorcycle club oriented, of course, but with the universe that's been created, I want Potter to go down. Like big time. And also, is it the Iron Eagles? What was the other? That would be a decent spinoff. I think that'd be a little more like, it'd be like motorcycle cop club, and kind of like the bending of the law. But that gets into a little too white skinhead, and I'm just like, yeah, that's an element of it always, but I don't want a show surrounding that and humanizing that. I don't know. That's my biggest hesitation with that. I do like the idea of the corrupt police force and them actually trying to do bad things in society and doing some good things in society, I guess, or attempting to, or guising it like they're doing it. I don't know exactly the route they would take. I really like the idea for it all. I just don't like leaning into the whole the skinhead stuff, and it's an element. It always is an element of it, but it doesn't need to be the most prevalent part of the show, if that makes sense. Also, we've started talking, and we'll bring this back up in a second, David Bailey. Don't worry, my friend. Thoughts on Daniel Radcliffe possibly being next Wolverine? No, thank you. Oh, really? Why? Why do you say no, thank you? I think he's the only person that fits. I like Taron Egerton as it. I like the idea of Taron Egerton as Wolverine, but I don't. I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but I don't want him to continue if they're trying to be comic accurate to a degree. And I love that they're putting him in the blue and yellow spandex. Like, that's cool. That's going to be really cool looking. I'm excited. But he's 6 foot like 2, 3, however tall Hugh Jackman is. He's 6 foot, 6'1", I think is his actual height. He looks freaking huge always, though. Even next to Ryan Reynolds, who's not a small dude. Wolverine is like 5'5". He's like 5'3". Wolverine's like 5'3" or 5'4", not 5'5". I think he's even smaller than 5'5". I think he's like 5'3" or 5'4". Daniel Radcliffe's not necessarily 5'3" or 5'4", but he could play somebody that feels that small comparatively, where Hugh Jackman's going to tower over most of his castmates. I feel like Daniel Radcliffe, being as jacked as he is now, could put on a little bit of a Canadian accent and do some cool stuff. Which I just read an article today about Now You See Me 3 and will it ever happen and why hasn't it happened. I want Now You See Me 3. And I don't think you could bring Daniel Radcliffe back, but if you could, do. You know? I do like magic movies as well. I like all kinds of movies. But no, Daniel Radcliffe as a buff, small Wolverine that's just tearing through people would be great. Because he's kind of method in his own way. I don't think he's necessarily method, but he's probably right up next door to method. And what he's done in Swiss Army Man, Horns, I could Guns Akimbo. I mean, there's a whole slew of films I can name. I think the effort that he would bring would be phenomenal. I'd love to see that. I really would. Daniel Radcliffe's Jack now. Do you think Harry Potter will cameo in the rumored HP series? It's not rumored either. They confirmed that stuff. I'm still pissed off about it. They confirmed it, and they're going forward with it because of Daniel Radcliffe. He's literally the only cast member that has publicly said that they will not go. Like, even Emma Watson's like, I know I don't like what J.K. Rowling's saying. And come on now. She's never said anything actually bad about any human beings. She might not agree 100% with the way everybody thinks, but she's never said anything bad about any human beings. And I hate how much people throw vitriol at her just for the sake of vitriol. It's not truly there for any reasonings. It's reasonings they're putting on to her. They're putting words into her mouth, and that I think is pretty disgusting. But all that being said, Emma Watson was even like she doesn't like what J.K. Rowling says or anything like that, but she said she'd come back for Harry Potter. Daniel Radcliffe said nothing. You can't do it. He didn't say nothing. He said he would not come do it. He said there's nothing you could do to get me to do it, which sucks, man. Because I would much rather see like the person that plays Ginny. I forget her name. I should know all these guys' names. The person that plays Ginny, the person who would be married to Daniel Radcliffe in the show or the movie or whatever. If they did the Cursed Child, at least, it's about their kids. They would be secondary or ancillary characters in there. Yeah, sure, you might kind of add a B plot with them that might make them a little bit more prevalent. I haven't read Cursed Child, so I'm not entirely sure what it pertains to and what it involves. But they wouldn't be front and center. So take a nice little payday, get us back into the world of Harry Potter. Besides Hogwarts Legacy, if you're going to make a freaking TV show, make a Hogwarts Legacy TV show. If you're going to make a Harry Potter TV show, Warner Brothers, make a Hogwarts Legacy TV show. It's just, I don't know. Somebody hire me. Like, they don't know how to do shit around there. Like, anyway. With Hugh Jackman, we could have Wolverine the musical. Wolverine, the greatest showman. You know, when I did go see A Haunting in Venice yesterday, or was it no, on Wednesday night, whatever day it was, Wednesday night, there was a kid that plays the son of Jamie Dornan, and he was excellent. And my buddy Jacob and I, as we walked out, we said, if they cast a new young Harry Potter, this kid could be him. I'm not entirely sure what the kid's name is. Hey, let me Google A Haunting in Venice real quick. The kid's name, Jude Hill? Jude Hill. Is that? See that? Oh, he was in Belfast. Oh, okay. I never watched Belfast. Huh. He's been in the Magpie Murders, excuse me, A Haunting in Venice and Belfast. This kid, Jude Hill, Harry Potter, please. He is blonde, so that's like the only, I guess, iffy part. But he didn't really seem all that blonde. And if they just made Harry Potter dirty blonde, like I wouldn't care, you know. Like, also I haven't read those books though, so there might be some people that would destroy frickin' sets or something because they grew up reading the books. I'm not sure. But Jude Hill, that's my cast for young Harry Potter. That's my vote cast. But I would much rather a Cursed Child happen. Well, you know what? Cast him as their kid. Bring the Cursed Child movie into fruition. Let these old actors play the older versions of themselves. They're like 8 years away from where they would be playing. They wouldn't have to age up all that much. This I do like this idea. Wyatt will play a young Kurt and Monarch father-son team. Highly intrigued by that idea. Highly intrigued. Even though Wyatt doesn't look like he would turn into Kurt, there's something inherently different about their faces, but there's also something inherently similar. Obviously, that's part of just being a father and son. 3 a.m. here in London. Gotta go. Good night, Harris. Good night, Peter. I appreciate you staying. Honestly, I'm probably going to be out of here in the next couple minutes myself anyway, so then we can hop on to GCubed and do a good old gaming stream soon. So if you need something to sleep to, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sleep to no noise. Good night, Peter. Good night, my friend. Good night. Good night. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. I really don't have that much else. Should we call it a day? Shall we call it a day with Peter? He's a pirate. Who's a pirate? What was I saying right before? Kurt and Wyatt? Who's a pirate? I get lost literally 2 seconds after I start saying something else. I don't know if it's ADD, OCD, or if it's just the fact that I'm Doug from Up, and you can say squirrel, and I'm still like, huh? You know? Yeah, I think that's it for me, though. I really do appreciate y'all being here. You know, y'all make it so much more fun than just me scrambling and rambling to myself. It's fun to have people to talk to this stuff's about. I'm a dude. I mean, I'm a dude. You are a dude. It takes me a second sometimes. I'm not even stoned right there. See, right now, you know what I mean? Good Lord, I can't even get a full sentence out correctly at the moment. See you over there, Harris. Yes, I'm thinking we'll probably do in half an hour, 45 minutes. Yeah, 7:45. Let this laptop charge a little bit before I start moving around halfway across the house. Booyah, though. You know what? I'm going to roll the GCubed outro and then the MCubed outro. We're going to call it a day. That way, y'all go over to GCubed. Get Jamie live tomorrow, then chilling in the basement. Hey, or got Jamie live tomorrow, then chilling in the basement. Yeah. Is Jamie live tomorrow? It's Saturday. Right? Isn't it chilling tomorrow night and then Jamie in the morning? I believe. Something like that. I don't know. But yeah, while we're here, like, comment, subscribe, share to all your people. Follow on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all the same thing. Y'all know the dealio. I appreciate y'all. GCubed, MCubed, we out of here.